welcome everybody. My name is Matt Pancino. For those who missed the previous session, my name is Matt Pancino. I'm the Director of Customer Engineering for the Benelux region. If you listen carefully, you will realize I'm not from around these parts. I am recently moved to the Benelux region from Australia in January. And prior to my role here in Europe, I ran a large CTO practice in the Asia Pacific region, so I'm very familiar with what goes on there. And I've spent the vast majority of my career actually working on your side of the fence. On the buy side of technology, I've been CIO and CTO for many large companies, predominantly in financial services. So I really come to technology with a what's in it for the customer perspective. So and what we're going to do to talk today is a little bit about AI and how it's transforming many digital journeys actually in customers. In the previous session, we talked about how 2 years ago, Gen AI was just beginning to come a thing, and now we're really seeing it being actively deployed in customers. It's a real privilege to be here with Odoo. For those of you who don't know, why is Google Cloud here? Why have we got a booth here? It's because we actually power much of Odoo's critical technology as we move forward. So it's a really great partnership and it's fantastic to be here. And I'll try and not trip over a cord and kill myself. Okay. So if I just work the technology. Questions, please scan the QR code. And there's questions and answers. And if you have questions and answers I can't answer or we don't have time for, we have a booth outside where we have our technology and we have great Google staff ready to go. Okay. Quickly, I just want a quick question of the audience. Has anyone got a business card here? Anyone? Anyone's got a business card? Guy at the front's got a business card. Could I have your business card, please? At the end of this, I'm going to try a little experiment that we'll see if this works while you're getting the... So, Mute Labs, right? Is that the name of your company, sir? So what I'm going to try and do is at the end of this presentation, because this gentleman volunteered, I'm going to create a little podcast for him. Mute Labs Netherlands, is that correct? Mute Labs Netherlands? Pardon? Germany, okay. Come up here for a second. Come. That's you, isn't it? That's your company?
It is.
Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do just while we get going as I get my presentation, we'll see where we go. We'll come back to this little thing a little later. Okay. So, welcome to the text. Let's keep going. So what I wanted to do is talk a little bit about Google first before we get into technology, because a lot of people don't know Google. I'm really struggling walking around here. It's okay, I got it. A lot of people don't know who Google is, in the sense that I'm sure you've all used Google's search engine. Is that okay? Is that okay? I'm sure you've all used Google search engine, Gmail, many products and so forth. But there's a little bit more to Google and Google Cloud and how the company actually operates. We have, and of course Odoo has a history of open source and a very open function. A little bit of history of Google quickly. Google has a long history of the open source community. Many of the great breakthroughs that power the internet today actually come from Google research. Whether it's from 2002 when we released a paper on GFS, which turned into a lot of technologies that we've released into open source, TensorFlow, which is one of the foundations for AI, Kubernetes, which is actually what we work with Odoo on to support Kubernetes clusters. A lot of this has actually originated from Google. So we have a long history of engineering. When it comes to AI, what's interesting is you tend to forget that AI has been around for a long period of time. A lot longer than in the last 2 years. And we have a long history in AI, and I'm sure if anyone uses Gmail and it completes a sentence, you've been using AI for a number of years and you haven't even realized. In 2015, Google actually research with Google DeepMind was the first organization to win the global champion at a game called Go. Some other great, in 2017 we published a paper called Attention is All You Need, which was actually the start of the great LLM era that we now know. That was in 2017. Just another example, I think in 2022 we actually open sourced an AI model that lets you map a two-dimensional protein map, a color spectrum, into a 3D protein model, which is called AlphaFold, which lets scientists map the world's proteins into three-dimensional structures to further the development of medicine and science, all using AI. And we continue in 2023, we launched the Bard era, and now we're obviously in the Gemini era. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about what Google Cloud brings to the table in terms of the technology we provide for our customers that we use. Right. One of the interesting things we spoke about in the previous session was 2 years there was a lot of experimentation in AI and what are the actual use cases. I think what's happened, and I feel just mind blown about how quickly this market is going, is how quickly companies went from we're experimenting with AI, we hope it does something useful, to actually putting AI into production and actually doing real use cases with some of our tools and technologies. Forgive the... It's what happens when you... excuse me. We back. The joys of presentation and the tech. And what we're really seeing is we're actually seeing that a lot of our customers are actually now deploying across a number of specific fields. Couple of examples. In financial services, ING has currently using AI in its chatbot customer service features to answer real questions for customers in production as of today. And they're seeing significant reductions in call handling times in terms of how customers are actually working with ING. Macquarie Bank, and forgive me, I have a financial services background, so I know these examples very, very well, actually uses AI in its app for you to be able to ask real questions of your customers. The customers can go into their app and ask them, how much did I spend on restaurants over the last 3 months? Did I buy a camera in the last 2 years? I can't remember where I bought it. Can you show me the location of the camera store I bought that camera in? And they can actually, so what you're doing is being able to take a limited set of data and augment it with AI to create a completely different customer service example. I think in retail and consumer goods, I mentioned that example of AI in an ordering thing where people can actually go into a drive-through, they actually speak to an AI agent, they don't have to read a menu exactly, they can just say, I want 3 fries, a Coke and a double cheeseburger and whatever the case may be, and the AI system is trained across all the various language capabilities in place and it will be able to generate an order quickly. We continue to see across content creation, media entertainment use cases, obviously health. We talked about Princess Maxima and the ability for us to use AI tools for further advancement of diagnosis in science. Actually, how do you process large volumes of data? We see examples right across the board. One of the big evolutions we've seen is around this world where we called contactless agents. One of the things that Google Cloud brings to the table is we provide a platform that makes it very simple for you to either take a model, and that's just take an off-the-shelf model and generate whatever it is the case you want to be able to use, shape a model, so shape a model to be grounded in your customer's data, or make a model, which is from the ground up. How do you build your own AI models to do very specific things, all within the same platform? And one of the really exciting things that we've done recently is build something called agents, or we're entering into the world of agents. And think of agents as small autonomous programs that have reasoning, can think multiple steps ahead, and then can access data at any point in time. And what we're really doing is actually democratizing the ability for you to create agents and be able to deploy them across a whole range of use cases, whether having customer service agents, employee agents, creative agents, all simply being able to be built quickly for a very particular and specific need, and being able to interact with each other in particular ways to service your customer needs. We really feel that the future is going to be in everyone's organization. They will have a range of augmented agents that do very, very specific functions that can interact to actually deliver business benefit across your organization. Going into Google Cloud in a little bit more detail, and apologies if there's a little bit more technical detail, but this just shows the breadth of what we offer our customers. We literally have off-the-shelf contact center solutions across a range of different industries. We have the ability for you to create your own specific agents with your own data safely and security with this something called Agent Builder. We also have something called Vertex AI Model Builder, and we even have something called the Vertex AI Model Garden. Now, this is a really important platform approach, which means that when you actually utilize AI and you come to Google Cloud, you're going to be able to either literally have some people just adopt quickly, some people build more specific models, or if you have a particular large number of data science nerds, they'll be able to build their own models. This is an important differentiation that Google Cloud brings to the table. But one of the things about Google that is critically important, and it was also important, that's a bit of a challenge running around here, one of the is that back to that first slide and that second slide is Google believes in choice, and Google believes in an open environment, just like we've open sourced many of our tools. So one of the real opportunities we see is, and it's kind of funny, when I go talk to customers, I can kind of tell their maturity based on if they're talking about a particular model. Oh yeah, we use this model, or we use that model, or we use this particular thing. And one of the things you realize quickly when you start getting involved with AI is the market is moving so quickly. The models we're using today are completely different from the models we were using only 6 months ago. And I can tell you now, I'm not Nostradamus, but they'll be completely different from the models we use in 3 to 5 years. And what we're also seeing is models. There was a question around, how do you think about environmental footprints of models? There'll be models that'll be designed that are highly efficient, that do very specific tasks, which will be low costs and low power consumption. There'll be other models which might be bigger for bigger tasks. We believe in choice. So when you come to Google, you can use our proprietary models based on the same technology that we deploy to our 9 products with 1 billion customers each. You can use someone else's models, like we just announced that, yes, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I'm looking to my Google team, that you can now use the Facebook's latest Llama models, all available on the same platform. And why this is critical is we also had a conversation in the previous session about how do you experiment, how do you learn, how do you develop, and how do you grow your maturity over time. It's important that when you make your choices, you know that as you go down this path, you're not going to get stuck into a trap of technical debt. and look back and go, I'm stuck in a particular platform and the model market and the AI movement will have moved on. That's not something that Google brings to the table. So Agent Builder, we talk about it, we're now using, and again, we have tools and technologies and workshops that let you build agents across the board. I would urge you to go and see our panel of how that works. I think we've got some live demos of how Agent Builder works, and the team can actually build some agents for you if you really, really challenge them. I won't go into this detail because I think we've only got 4 minutes left. Is that correct? Yep, so we do want to leave some time for question, but needless to say, Agent Builder is a complete ecosystem for you to be able to deploy. This is the most important thing I want to take away from this conversation. You don't need to be an enterprise of 10,000 developers to start using AI now. You can either use it in our generative AI, like workspace capabilities that you can deliver today, or you can use these tools now to deliver value tomorrow, right? So we literally can do these in minutes. So we have a complete kind of no code, low code, and full code solution, right? So you can keep your developers happy, but you can start deploying AI into your organization safely and securely. Again, this was a big question that was raised previously, and it comes to the fundamental ethos of Google and Google Cloud. Again, one of the advantages and one of the reasons why I feel so privileged to work for Google is we have a lot at stake in terms of the number of customers we have at a global scale using our capability. Everything we do, the principles of data governance and privacy, security and compliance from the ground up, reliability and supporting, and safety and responsibility is built into these tools as a minimum capability, because this is the same capabilities that we're internally driving at Google. And that's a key differentiator, we believe, of our technology stack. Just quick slides, because I'm running out of time. 73% of our customers right now are pretty much deploying in customer service. It's the first place to start. It's where you can get the most benefits. 65% for any developer out there, I'm sure you're using some AI augmented solution today. It's a very low-hanging fruit, very easy for you to do. 58% of our customers, and this is the next wave, are now deploying AI. Remember I talked in the previous session about fixing those small pain points in your processes, whether internal processes, customer fulfillment processes. 52% of people are using it for data analysis. That's mostly what I do personally, which is how do you get synthesized large volumes of data in a very, very small amount of time. And 47% is in content creation, marketing campaigns, various bits and pieces. Okay. Classic examples that we build. Canva, you may or may not be familiar with. Big graphic design capability. We now provide all of the underlying AI technology to both Canva as a platform and the Canva creators to be able to generate new capabilities inside Canva. And I'm really running out of time. Carrefour, simple example. Now all of their marketing campaigns are driven using Google Cloud technology. How can you quickly be able to generate the campaign, the text, the imagery, all using generative AI? And I've said a little bit about AI principles. I've covered that. Do we have time for any questions? Questions? We got any questions? We do? Okay.
Everyone, and thank you again, Matt, for really, really interesting things that we're all learning about. We don't have that many questions, but we have two very interesting ones. So the first one is, you having seen so many companies make use of AI, and looking at Odoo, what are your first thoughts on how at Odoo we should be using AI?
Oh, I think ultimately Odoo, let me take a step back of where Google and how Google's thinking about AI. We're betting AI is being integrated into every single one of our products, from Gmail to Google Earth to Photos to even our AI build, like generative AI builder has AI agents to help you build agents. Our databases, we're integrating AI agents into the databases so you can actually interrogate your own databases using AI. Ultimately, I think every single capability that Odoo has at a deep ingrained product level could be AI enabled in some way.
Okay.
Soup to nuts.
Okay, so there's a lot of work there then. Okay, great. Then we have a more sort of very specific question about privacy of data. So suppose that I come with my company and I decide to build a model with your solutions.
Yep.
Would the data from my company be private to my company, or would you need to use it to enhance Google's models as well?
That's a really common misconception. When you are a customer with Google Cloud and you use our data platforms, we do not touch data, privacy and security, your data, your models, your training. We actually have the specific architectures. I'd urge you to talk to the booths, that when you even tune your models to do the own things, you actually get your own versions of those models which are proprietary to your business. This is a fundamental tenet of the way Google operates. When you work with Google Cloud, you run your business with your data on your terms.
Okay, thank you. I guess just another question based on, how the skills landscape is evolving so quickly. What do you see are becoming important skills to master to be able to thrive in the way things are changing?
I think the most important skill, and we're really out of time, and I want to see if we can, with Mute Labs, see if we can deliver on my podcast capability. The most important thing I think you need to be doing is you need to have an open mindset of experimentation and start in a safe way, find what the use cases in your business. I found it really interesting that 50% of people are saying, yes, I'm using AI, but only 10% of people are actually, the business is actually using AI. There's a massive untapped opportunity. Find that simple customer service use case, find that small friction and have the kind of mindset to actually go after and fix it, because if you don't, your competition is probably already beginning to work on it now.
Okay, thank you so much.
So that's it. I just want to see...
Okay, so
is
today
this working?
we're diving into something kind of
I'm
fun.
playing audio.
You know how everyone's always complaining about open
I'm
offices?
playing audio.
Well, someone sent us info
guys
on this
hear this?
company, Mute Labs. And they're like taking phone booths to a whole new level.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like remember those things
Okay.
from old movies?
Right, like practically.
Am I back on? Am I back on? What you're hearing is, I'll play a little bit more as people leave, is I just got a business card, nothing else, from our gentleman in the front. No information, no idea who he is, it wasn't a trick. And I input into the URL and using an AI set of tools said, generate me a podcast so I can find out what's going on with this company. In the time that we have spoken, actually it took about 3.5 minutes. It was done before I got to slide 2. I generated a 7-minute podcast with the power of AI. That's how powerful this stuff is. Please come and talk to us in the booth. It's been a real pleasure me being here to share this with you today. Enjoy the rest of the day. We'll play it more.